Okay, hi guys, this is Holistic Health with Harry. Today I'm super excited actually. I'm joined by Ivonna, and we met through Root. Is that correct, Ivonna?
Yes, we did. Yes.
Mm.
So super excited to be here.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm super excited. I messaged you and said that I'm just excited about the product, and like anyone that we're on the same thing, and it's really powerful, and I'm just excited for. But you've got a great story that I want to present to people with how Root has helped you and your family. So can you explain a little bit of maybe background before your family situation before Root and how it's helped you on your journey?
Okay. Well, I had severe fibromyalgia, asthma, hay fever, starting symptoms of MS. And yeah, I think that's about it. That's a lot, but
Yeah, there's a lot.
I have two children with severe autism, ASS, and a daughter of 8 with severe ADHD, and a lot of eczema. She started with the eczema. It was like an explosion all over her body when she was like 10 days old. And so we've been battling with that ever since. And I had to start looking for something that actually was going to work for her, because the ointments that she was giving were not good for her skin. And so I finally found somebody in South Africa, and we live in the Netherlands, that was specialized in severe eczema, and he prescribed an ointment with 3 different formulas. And that seemed to be working, but it just kept coming back. So it was just for the part that she wasn't itchy anymore, which if she had a lot of eczema, it resulted in her behavior in a way that she wouldn't want to eat anymore. Her behavior with ADHD got a lot worse, a lot of extreme. And so we found out, we had some testing done with everything, and it turns out that she is highly gifted also. And eventually this year, or last year I should say, we did the transfer to specialized education, and she seems to be really in her spot there. And with the Root products, I was introduced by a friend of mine whose English is not really that well, and he asked, can you please do a Zoom call for me and just find out if this is something that is good for me. So I said, sure, I'll do it. And
who is it, by the way? Do I know them? Probably not.
No, it's a guy in Dubai.
Okay.
And so he got introduced by his friend in Germany, Michaela.
Okay.
You know Michaela, yes.
Yeah.
And she's become a very dear friend. And so it was very interesting because I was asking a lot of questions, and I actually was very triggered by the idea. I'm like, okay, what this Root product does, I'm very skeptical. I always say, okay, let's see it and then I'll believe it. Yeah, I'm very grounded. So I've tried so many things in the past. And to me, it was like, okay, I'll try it. I'll give it a try and then see what I think. But it's not going to be just for me. It's going to be for my whole family.
Yeah.
You're all going down.
Yeah. Does that include your partner too, as well as your children? Your partner?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yes. So we're a joint family. We have 5 kids together, and then us. And we have a lot of animals. As they say, it's very good for the animals as well. We have 2 dogs, 2 cats, and we have birds of prey because my husband is a falconer.
All right.
So
cool.
I'm like,
wow.
let's do the testing. We're the total perfect testing family to go. So we started, and it was within a few days that I noticed results. And I was very aware. So I was taking notes for everybody, asking them how they feel, observing them, and whatever else to try to keep track of everybody, because it's a large family.
Yep. And you're the mum that would, you're the mum with a piece of paper and monitoring everything, monitoring the situation.
Yeah. Yeah. And the first day I felt a little bit more energy. That was good. I felt good overall. And the second day for me, I felt...
How many drops do you start with? I think I read you did 2 drops. You put everyone on 2 drops. Did that include the children too?
Yes. Everybody started out with 2 drops, 2 times a day in the morning. And between 3-4 p.m. is when we take the second drops. So the second day I felt a little bit more agitated, like I don't know how to describe it, more like before,
more like toxins are coming out of the body a lot at that moment in time.
It's like I was on a warpath, like how sometimes women sometimes get when they have to get their periods.
Yeah,
yes.
You're gonna say that.
So I was aware of that. So of course I was like, okay, this is interesting. And then the third day, I felt really a positive mindset, because I think everybody has that with all the stuff going on in 2020, the lockdowns, the whole COVID situation, I was getting really depressed, on top of my physical condition. To me, it was like, great, can we make it any worse, to limit everything between 4 walls and not being able to go anywhere, do stuff, because everything costed me a lot of energy. So the third day I was getting more energy. I felt positive mindset, which was very nice. And I was thinking, I feel like I can run the marathon and spring clean the house, like from top to bottom and inside and out. But I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to walk into that trap, because I know I'm going to be sorry for the next 3 days. And
that's good.
So the 4th day in the morning, I woke up, I was rested. I didn't wake up exhausted anymore, thinking, oh, great, how am I going to get through this day again? But I woke up rested and I didn't feel anything. And I was like, what the heck?
And so before this, all the time before, you was just feeling pain inside your body all the time, constantly. Is that what you were suggesting there?
Yeah.
That's interesting. For the first time ever, then, for a long time, you just had a pain-free body, and that was unusual to you because of the difference between being in pain.
I thought I was paralyzed.
Right.
Because I was like, I don't feel anything. What is going on? And I was like, I don't feel any pain. I'm rested. I don't feel any pain. I can just jump right out of bed, which I did. I was literally like jumped out of bed. I was like, oh my God, this is insane. Like, what is happening?
And then did it click straight away? What was it? Did you stop? You did. I was like, Okay.
Yeah. I was like, this is unreal. This is unreal. But I'm in it for I started on March 8th. So I'm almost to a month into it now. And I still feel the same way. I feel fantastic.
Yeah.
I feel energized. I have no pain. And I'm especially with this, not only the Cleanslate, I also use the 0 in. I am focused. I am concentrated. I can multitask again. I'm aware of everything that's going on. And it's just amazing. I feel, I'm 47, but I feel like I'm 25 again.
Oh, that's good.
It's good. It's good. My skin is really getting beautiful. I mean, I can really tell the difference.
And it is that.
It's a glow.
Yeah.
My eyes are sparkling.
White, going white normal. Your hair too. I've noticed the hair upgrades so much. It becomes more shiny and clean. I'm not vain, but I just noticed it.
Yeah.
It does make your hair cleaner.
And for my son, who was severely autistic, one is a little bit higher up, but the other one did not speak. He could say a few words, but that's it. And we had to try, can you speak? What do you want to say? Say it, not point out and not take me there, but say it, speak it. So that took a long time before he wants to say a word. For instance, help.
Did you notice Did you notice a difference with them? Because I know you're saying they improved their speech too, one of them. What differences do you notice? How long did it take the differences for you to start noticing a difference with them? From starting?
About this, yeah, about 3-4 days.
Only 3 or 4 days.
Same time. Yeah,
Wow. And two
yeah,
drops a
really
day.
fast.
That's a bit
Yeah.
mind blowing. Jesus, man.
And his eyes are sparkly. He doesn't have with autistic children or people, you usually have the dead look in the eye. It's like they stare into oblivion. There's nothing there. You can wave and they just don't react.
Yeah.
With him, his eyes are sparkly. He's aware. He is taking in everything. He's looking around him. He's seeing more things. He's absorbing everything.
Wow.
And one time I saw him on the couch and he was actually reading out loud. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, he's 14 now.
Yeah.
I've really never heard his child voice because now he has, he's growing into a man. Yeah. So his voice is changing. And last week he was at my mother's house. We was visiting grandma's and he just said, "Grandma, I love you." My mom just started crying.
Oh.
I mean,
wow.
It has been in there all this time. It was blocked and it could not come out. But
Michaela, what do you think that is then? Do you think it's heavy metals with autism? Because that's a profound story you're sharing with us. What is it that's blocking them? I mean, because you'd be able to speak more to me on autism. I don't have any kids on it. I mean, I know a little bit about it, but what's blocking up? What's Cleanslate removing from him? Do you reckon heavy metals or just that or loads of things?
I think loads of things, but heavy metals, they were born at 32 weeks. I was with the cesarean. I was in the hospital in America and I got a severe hospital infection, like immediately after the operation. I've only seen them taken out into the incubator and I didn't woke up until like 14 days later. And it was after 3 weeks that I was able to hold them for the first time in a wheelchair. And the nurses were supporting my arms to hold a 2-pound baby. That week I was. They had told my parents that it didn't look good. They didn't know what to do. There were 7 virologists around my bed. It was, they were told that I probably wouldn't make it. So after that, they started experimenting, like all kinds of things, like antibiotics, and none of them worked. So they decided at the last hour, really, before I was going to get into an emergency surgery, to drain all the fluids out my body because I had a belly that looked like I had quadruplets in there, that big with round circles around it and stuff. They made a cocktail with the 3 strongest antibiotics there are in the world, and that seemed to be working. And I was on the antibiotics for 6 more months after the hospital. I had a blood clot after I came home after 5 weeks in the hospital. And so I had to go back into the hospital, got more medication, been on that medication for another 6 months. And I had the dripping IV for about almost eight months after I came out of the hospital. So I was constantly walking with this thing through the house and trying to feed twins that were preemies. They insisted on me doing breastfeeding during they were in the incubator, so they used a machine to get the milk out of me when I was not able to. And so I know that they were giving a lot of bad stuff because you give it on as a mom through breast milk.
What are you suggesting? All the bad poisons they were through the drugs that you were taking was going out in the breast milk? I think that makes sense. Yeah. And they were insisting on it, because I've never heard of medical people insist on breastfeeding unless it's for bad reasons, like you just said there. So,
because they were preemies and they said breast milk is the best thing that you can do. And I kept telling them, I said, I didn't want to anymore after I was conscious again. I didn't want to anymore because I didn't have a good feeling with it. And they said, no, I said, prove it to me. So they came out with all these books that doctors read, and they said, well, here it is, here is what you can read. And so I said, I'm sorry, but I'm still not convinced. So after 1 month, I stopped the breastfeeding. And when we came out of the hospital, it was flu season. They were born November 1st, and they wanted them to get the RS virus shots every month. So I did that. As a new mom, I didn't know any better. And of course, I did all the normal child vaccines.
How many vaccines did they have then? And what age did your son start showing or symptoms of autism?
After the BMR injection, and I remember that one nurse, they take the baby and they give the shot, so you don't have to be there. They didn't want you to be there, really, and in that practice. And she came back, she says, well, I kind of miscalculated his weight, and so he got a little bit more than he was supposed to get, but
really,
it's better to be safe than sorry. And I was just looking at her, I'm like, what the heck are you telling me? But you're too late. It's too late. It's already in the body, and you can't do anything. Do you know which one
of your sons? Do you know which one of your sons?
Yeah, Logan, the one that was 2 pounds.
And is he the one that's worse off now?
Yes, he is the most severe with autism.
Well, there we go. I don't know what you reminded me of the documentary Vaxxed. I mean, I don't know anyone I've spoken to just from that film. It's pretty shocking, but yeah, so that's pretty obvious then. That well, just say it, man. The vaccines cause autism. MMR vaccine cause autism, and your son got given more than the other, and he has worse conditions. I mean, critics would say that's a coincidence. I would say there's a lot of coincidence going on in the world. Like, Jesus.
Yeah. So I don't know, but they both had a very high fever of about 40 degrees, 40 and a half degrees, where I was like, okay, I need the temperature every half hour to make sure that I don't have to call the hospital.
Was that immediately after the vaccine? Immediately after? Or?
It was short. Yeah, as soon as I came home, they were a little sweaty and stuff. So I put them in the bed downstairs, and I noticed that they were only sleeping. And after that, it just took a very long time for Logan to even be able to sit up.
Right.
He was 18 months. And then we took him to the chiropractor, and after that he was able to start walking. So he corrected his spine a little bit, and that helped him to start walking. But the feedings were a big problem, because after every feeding, Harry, they started throwing up. I had to bathe them because it was all over them.
Why would they do that? Why would they throw up with this? I'm learning here.
It's been like that from the start. They had trouble eating, trouble swallowing, and trouble speaking.
Do you think, I'll just think out loud, Ivonna, I might be wrong, because this is new territory. You're sending me in places I've not been before in my mind. So maybe because the body knows it's so toxic through the vaccines and the damage, that it knows intuitively about fasting, and that knows that it wants to preserve itself. Because any food now, I mean, I think even any food, even good, there's levels with food, but any food when you're really toxic can do you down. It's like you're better off not eating and fasting. So then maybe the body's rejecting it because they're so toxic. It intuitively know. And I'm sure you weren't feeding them particularly bad food at the time. So Jesus.
It was bottle feeding. It was by powdered milk, the bottle feeding, that they formula that they have for the babies.
Yeah,
that's what they were getting. And so I slowly. Yeah,
are they still like that now? I mean, with eating, do they still have problems?
No, but one thing that was very typical was that with my other son, who is a little bit better with his autism, his little lighter autistic, he kept telling me, he says, Mom, it just feels like I have a lump in my throat the whole time and I can't get it out. And after that, he started spitting up a lot of slime. And I told him to drink more water, and he did. We increased the drops a little bit, and after that it went away, but it took a while. It took about 2 weeks for sure that he was complaining about it, and he doesn't want to eat bread anymore.
With your other son, who's at milder autism, when he started the drops, he started getting from nowhere this problem here, and it went away after a few weeks. That's interesting.
Yeah. And I thought, well, that's logical because he had always trouble swallowing. And so I think that is related. in some way if you look back. I mean, I can
wow.
just, everything is just falling into place for me with
That
what
makes sense.
I
There
was
was some
going through with
deep
my
level of
kids.
toxicity here in the throat. I mean, the whole body, but particularly here, that stopped him from swallowing. And then now all of a sudden he had that problem, because we know intoxication, you sometimes got to get worse to get better. And that's so true. Like, it's not always a smooth ride for me and you when we start this stuff. So when we do this, the poisons were coming out, and then boom, it's much better for him now, you noticed.
Yeah. I had a friend here today that she said he looks a lot more cheerful. He looks different. And she was amazed how calm my daughter was. She says, I've never seen Jenna doing this before. You know, she's so calm. And with Logan, he just, you know, he came in, he said, hello, Natalie. And, you know, she was like, I'm like, yeah. And
did you ask him what he's on? Did you ask him what he's on while they're on, your children?
No, she's on it. She's on it.
Oh, she's on it too.
She has fibromyalgia, and she has the same experience. She says, I have a lot more energy. I have no more pain. I can do a lot more things. It's amazing. So I've helped 16 people so far. And
oh, congrats.
The gifts of hearing those stories back. I mean, I had a business contact. His wife was really, really in bad shape, mentally and physically, in so much pain that she didn't want to go on anymore. And she told me also, she was day 5 that she reported back to me, I woke up today with no pain. And I was like, she had 2 days to wrap her mind around it, because she was so overwhelmed with emotion that she says, I have a future again. I can start looking into my future. I can go back to teaching. I can share this with other people because I know so many people who are sick and who have stuff. And, you know, this is not only for people who have something. Everybody lives in the same environment. You know, we're all toxic.
Yeah.
And so we all actually really need this.
It's so true. I love stories like that, because I never came into it from the position I'm in now. I don't come into it a position of ill health, but I need to be reminded of it, because that's the primary reason why we do it. The stories of like you and your friend, just incredible transformations where you take for granted when you're healthy, but when you're unhealthy 24/7, you kind of get used to it in a way. So when that's taken away really quickly, like you woke up on that morning, you're like, holy shit, am I paralyzed? I'm confused. I can relate to it a little bit with the urine therapy, because when I started urine therapy, I was like, whoa, I'm a new vibration. But this one, wow. I mean, I think, Yvonne, this is like essential for kids with autism, all kids with autism, all people that have been vaccinated, which is, let me see, everybody that's got vaccine poisons in them, especially with the vaccines now. I think it's for pets. I think it's for a protocol for like a preventative. So say no one does have an issue, but you want to prevent a disease. I also think it's for people that are really spiritual and want to take their vibration to, you know, the next level to boost those chakras up. I think it's basically what I'm saying is I really do. I know it in my heart. It's for everyone. It's transformational.
Yeah. And, you know, we have an older dog. She's 11, and she started to get a stare into her eyes. And I've took pictures of it. The stare is almost gone. We put two drops on a little bit of a snack that she likes. Yeah. And after 1 week, we already could see improvements. So, wow. And she's more, with the other dog, she's more playful. She's running again. It's, my cat had infected gums all the time. Yeah. Her gums have cleared up. Because the vet was already talking, well, we're going to have to pull all our teeth. And I'm like, no, really don't want to do that, because, you know, I don't think you should, and we'll find another way. And that was before I got, you know, introduced to Root. We have a sick falcon, and we had her on treatment, medical treatment for 3 months. And she was only getting worse. Then we got our Root drops, the Cleanslate. We put 2 drops a day in, and she did a 180. Now she's just gaining weight, but we've had x-rays made of her. And I think next week we're going to go back to the vet and make another set of x-rays. Yeah. To
show people, to prove. Okay.
Actually, absolutely. To prove that she is healthy and that she overcame this with the Root drops, because we.
And again, do you have lots of befores? Or are you doing? Do you have lots of befores of your pet falcon? to prove it, so that you have, right, you're documenting it.
Yeah, yeah,
stage.
it's in the vet's computer, so I can document everything. I have proof of everything, so
Awesome.
it's gonna be awesome. Yeah.
Wow, I mean, that's pretty epic. Like what you've done with your family and synchronicities that have led you to this product, which I've got to say, same for me. I mean, I've always been into health, but I always go for the most powerful stuff that I want to promote, because I don't want to move the needle of health a little bit, because I don't feel it. I only work with things that are powerful, so I know it intuitively for me. But yeah, when we get on this, man, like this is, I really do think it's a game changer, Michaela. And what's your feelings quickly on the new one that's coming out in next week, I think?
I can't wait to try it. I can't wait to try it because I have spastic colon syndrome. So I always have, when I have to go to the bathroom, I have to go really, really fast. And it's a lot improved already with the Cleanslate. So I'm very excited to actually just go all the way from gut to top to really restore myself after, with the detox. And for my husband's two sons, one has ADD. He says he's a lot calmer in his head. He's a lot more quiet. He's more concentrated, and he feels more happy because he tends to go to the depression side a lot fast. And the other son, he just feels very positive mindset, and I can tell they're more happier kids because they, they're affected with not being able to see a lot of friends. We have a lockdown here that starts at 9. It's moved to 10 now, I believe. It's summertime going in, but still, it's one of them can't go to school yet because it's still closed, and the other one is just turned 12, so he can still go to school, but after 12 he can't go to school yet. So he really doesn't have a lot of contacts, and but I see him going up in his spirit. Incredible. So yeah,
through a product, through a really powerful product. By the way, let's touch base with that. So we're not just saying autism, we're also saying with one of your kids and your son-in-law, stepkids, I'm getting the wrong. So you're saying ADHD too. I wonder then if ADHD, or primary reason, or one of the main reasons why kids get ADHD, is just basically toxicity in the body. I'm just making it out loud here. So toxic chemicals, heavy metals, I don't know, glyphosate, just crap in the air we're breathing. So when you take those drops, maybe that's why you're seeing the improvement, because it's detoxifying them out of the body, and that's what's coming. So that's crazy what I just said there too. ADHD primarily is caused by toxins in the body.
Harry, what I've been passing along to my daughter through the womb.
Right.
It starts in the womb.
Yes.
In the umbilical cord, there's like over 280 toxins found already that were so we're born toxic.
Correct. And I think that's underestimated, by the way. I think that's underestimated. We don't factor in all the new stuff. So yeah.
And you try to eat healthy, you try to, do everything, but everything that we eat, go look at the package on the back, what's in there. Exactly. The other day I was trying to wash an eggplant. The eggplant is so greasy. Even with dish soap, I couldn't get it off. And I'm like, this is pesticides, and we're just eating it.
Yes.
You can't wash everything off, and it doesn't come off with dish soap. So what you're trying to do, you're still consuming it, even though it's vegetables, even though it's fruit, because the pesticide has the oil is oil based, so it sticks. So it doesn't matter what you do, you can't get it off unless you have ionized water, but that's a whole different subject.
Yeah. Exactly. And like, what was I going to say? Yeah, I think that diet can, but then the thing with those fruits and vegetables, and they are healthy for you, is like, if you've got pesticides on them, and they all do to varying degrees, and also actually quickly, Ivonna, I learned recently that organic fruit and vegetables aren't even tested for heavy metals. That's a whole different story. So they also contain heavy metals. So you're not just investing pesticides, more concerning is the heavy metals, both of them. But with that, like, I think like you have to eat right, and they are good for you, but what happens if the negative outweighs the positive of all these foods? That means that eventually you're going down. It might not be megally negative compared to the good, but if there's a slight negative to it versus positive, each food you're taking is just going to take you down a little bit more. And then you might feel beneficial from it because compared to eating garbage food, that's a significant difference. But it doesn't mean it's not going down in your health, you know?
And especially if you think about that, everything is grown in greenhouses nowadays. I mean, the food is just shot out of the ground. And if you compare it with how many vitamins there were, and you can Google this, if it's how many, the level of vitamins 30 years ago and how many vitamins there are in now,
In the
you'll
soil,
be
right?
shocked.
In the soil that creates the fruits and vegetables. So they won't be in the fruit because the vitamins come from the soil, right? In the food. Is that the way to do it?
I'm not sure. I don't know, but I only know that the end product, the vegetable, has at least half of the vitamins that it had 30 years ago.
Yeah, I think Ivonna is that case. I seem to remember somewhere. So it's the soil has got less nutrients in it now, megally loss, and the soil is the one that primarily gives the food the nutrients. It does a transfer. So yes, that's crazy. But then this is why I love like Cleanslate so much. Like this is natural. It's clintipolite, which is amazing, and it's cleaned up because normal clintipolite will pull from the earth the crap too. So I'm not saying it doesn't have benefits, but they do something with a process that, I mean, it blows my mind. Like what Clayton says that I remember is they cryogenically freeze it and then polarize it or something, and it makes it more powerful than a already natural product. It literally blows my mind what's happened here, what's been created.
I know, yeah, and it's patented, so it's they have a patent on it, and nobody has done this before in the way that they've done it, and that makes it so unique, and that makes it so special, and that makes it so powerful, and does what it does.
Yeah, truly, from 1 or 2 drops. So what was I going to say? Yeah, do you think, have you tried other zeolites before you got on this? Was this the only thing you... Right, so you're new like me. No. I'd never experienced it.
Yeah, I've never experienced any zeolites products whatsoever.
Right, yeah, exactly.
So I was totally new at this.
It's so powerful, and I'm so happy that we're on the same team here, because like I can't, this is what primarily, I mean, I know people are going to watch this, but I'm primarily doing it because I want to share the excitement and your story of your kids' autism, how it's helped you from your back pain, your husband, even your pets. Like this is transformational, and the people that you're going to help, myself and you are helping currently, are going to help by doing this stuff. Do you think you'll ever stop taking it? Like, or was this just
never? Never. I'm not going back to where I was. Not ever. No.
Does that include like, even though when you think, oh, but there's nothing wrong with me now, would you just still take it then? Or would you just like...
No, because you know, I am changed, but my environment hasn't. I mean, outside is still outside. It's still air is still polluted. The vegetables are still the same. The products that we eat are still the same. We eat healthy. We don't eat garbage. But so we have been very conscious of what we eat and consume. But it's in there. You can't escape it. It's impossible. And it might only get worse. So no, I'm on it. I'm a lifer. That's for sure. Yeah, I never want to go back to the pain and all the hospital trips and the research and investigations, and no.
Exactly. One last question. How would, to people that say that they can't afford this, what is the way you deal with that situation? And what would you say to someone that's on the fence and says, but I like it maybe, but I just can't afford it? What would you say to them?
Well, it's difficult because I can't, know somebody's finance, but for me, I'm in the same situation pretty much. Like, it's expensive. I mean, if we have to give our entire family these drops for, forever, then yeah, it's going to cost a little bit. But to me, there's no price on good health. The bills that you have to pay are probably higher. And there's no price tag that you can put on good health. But if you share it with other people, then you get rewards for it. And you are able to buy it with a big discount or even get it for free. And, so for me, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I like what you said there.
And how can you keep this a secret? And how can you keep this for yourself if you know that you can help other people get better?
Right.
And for me, I can't keep this a secret. That's not how I am. And so I just share it with everybody. And I know a lot of people who have ailments, you know, large and small, and I'll just introduce it to them. I said, I can tell you, you know me, and I can tell you the best stories there are, but the only way to find out is to try it. And I'll guarantee it that they keep taking it, because they won't stop, because everybody tells me the same story. I've read so many testimonials, I've been on so many calls. On the Root page on Facebook, you can read all the testimonials from people there as well. And I would say just go for it, try it, prove me different, prove me wrong.
Yep, I love that message. Try it and see for yourself, because the ultimate teacher isn't even logic as much as experience it. Just be open-minded to listen to the testimonies of myself, you, and many other people. So lastly, I just want to say thank you, Ivonna, for doing this. I really appreciate you sharing your story. I've got even more insight, and I always learn from people, if I'm being honest. Where can people find you? And we'll give them your link too, but just let us know where people can reach you. Maybe if they want to message you on your social media channels. Where's the best way to get hold of you?
I don't know, they can send me a messenger. I'm on Telegram, Ivonna Jansen. So I don't know if you can easily.
I'll put a link for that. Yeah, I'll put a link. And maybe I'll put a link for your Facebook too, so they can message you with that one. Do you use Instagram?
Yeah. I have Instagram, I have Telegram, I have WhatsApp, Messenger, Facebook. So
awesome. Okay, I'll put the links.
They can find me. I'm out there.
We'll put the links. So again, thank you so much, Ivonna, for doing this. This was Holistic Health with Harry with Ivonna.
Very welcome. I hope it can help other people. That's our main goal.
I know. I'm so happy. I'll just say as well that I'm so happy that I can make money. I'm rewarded for helping people, because I've always wanted to help people, but sometimes with free therapies, how can you live, man? How can I live unless I'm making money and carrying on doing experiments? Because I'd have to have what I call a matrix slave job, and I couldn't spend my time dedicated to helping people on social media, online, and transforming lives. So I'm grateful for the system they set up, the affiliate program, which is a whole different story. Maybe we can talk another time. That you can make good money helping people, and it's great what Clayton has set up. So I'm really grateful to know you and so many people in the team, and to grow.
It is a wonderful family to be a part of. I can tell you that. I am like amazed how we all support each other, help each other. And
yeah,
it's the beauty. I don't know. I feel like we're doing God's work. Yeah, I don't have any other words for it.
And I feel like Clayton and meeting his wife is God's work, and just the entire, but it came during COVID. I mean, is it coincidence? No, it's God's work that's been done. We are the little soldiers of God that are doing his bidding. And Clayton and his wife are the head, the Pope. I mean, we don't idolize them, but we do honor and respect, and so grateful for their work. So
absolutely, yes. And we want to, tell the world about their work. So
exactly. And
it's important work they do. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Holistic Health Harry with Ivonna. Thank you very much. Peace.